Welcome to the world of Hollywood. Hollywood has long been a land of transformation, where stars reinvent themselves in ways that captivate us both on and off the screen. But behind the glitz and glamour, there are stories of bravery and authenticity that often remain hidden in the shadows. Today, we're uncovering some incredible transgender celebrities whose journeys might just surprise you. Leave a comment with a 1 inch if you're ready, and trust us, the final story will leave you amazed. Chaz Bono, a journey full of ups and downs. When Sonny and Cher welcomed their daughter Chastity in 1969, they probably couldn't have imagined where life would take her. Growing up in the spotlight as the child of two iconic stars, Chastity was often in the public eye. But behind the glitz, something felt off. From a young age, she knew her true identity didn't align with the world's expectations. Though she wore dresses and played the part, it felt like trying to squeeze into shoes that were 2 sizes too small, uncomfortable, awkward, and just not right. As Chastity grew older, this discomfort only intensified. She knew she wasn't the woman society expected her to be, but coming to terms with this truth wasn't easy, especially as the child of Cher. No pressure, right? For years, she battled her identity in silence, juggling societal expectations and her own inner conflict. By the late 2000s, Chastity made the brave decision to transition and embrace her true self as Chaz. At 40, Chaz underwent surgery and began hormone therapy, finally feeling at home in his own body. But he didn't stop there. Chaz went on to make strides in Hollywood, becoming the first transgender man to play a male role in a film, with appearances in The Secret Life of the American Teenager and American Horror Story. Even Cher had her own journey of acceptance, admitting that while she sometimes slips up with pronouns, her love and pride for Chaz are stronger than ever. And really, who could blame her? Andrea Pejic, a remarkable transformation. Before becoming a prominent female model breaking boundaries, she was known in the fashion world as Andrea Pejic, a male model who could confidently showcase feminine clothing on the runway and captivate audiences. With striking androgynous beauty, Andre stood out in the fashion industry, but despite the world admiring his appearance, he faced deep inner dissatisfaction. He knew he wasn't meant to live life as a man, even though he looked fantastic in nearly any outfit. Growing up in Bosnia and later in Australia, Andre always felt different. Playing with makeup and trying on his mother's clothes brought him comfort, though it came with some confusion. Society has its boxes for each type of person, but Andre didn't fit neatly into any of them. In fashion, however, being different was fabulous. Designers loved his unique look, and he soon found himself walking on some of the world's biggest runways. But behind the glamour, something was still missing. Andre knew he was meant to live as a woman. By 2014, the time had come for Andre to embrace his true self. Transitioning wasn't just a bold personal step, it was also a career risk. Would the fashion world accept Andrea Pejic? The answer was yes, and they welcomed her warmly. Andrea made history as the first transgender model to grace the cover of GQ Portugal and continued to shine. Looking back, she'd probably tell her younger self, "Hang in there, girl. You're going to grow into the woman you were always meant to be, and the world will love you for it." Caitlyn Jenner. The journey from Bruce to Caitlyn is one of the most famous and talked about transformations in recent memory. As Bruce, She was an Olympic hero celebrated for winning the gold medal in the decathlon at the 1976 Montreal Olympics. But behind the glory, Bruce struggled with gender identity, a feeling that would eventually lead her to become the woman we know today. As a young boy, Bruce would secretly try on his mother's and sister's clothes, filled with both curiosity and confusion. To cope with this confusion, Bruce threw himself into sports, and as we know, the result was Olympic gold. However, even the highest athletic achievement couldn't quiet the internal struggle. Bruce's personal life, marked by multiple marriages, seemed happy on the surface but held a deep sense of disconnection underneath. His second wife, Linda Thompson, tried to understand his gender confusion, but those conversations were anything but easy. Then came Kris Jenner, and Bruce tried to be honest from the start, admitting to hormone use. However, in their complex relationship, Kris later claimed she didn't know the whole story, sparking some debate over what was truly understood at the time. Together, they raised one of the most famous families in the world, and Bruce became the beloved father figure on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. When Bruce decided to transition to Caitlyn at 65, an age when most people are thinking about slowing down rather than starting over, it shocked both the Kardashian-Jenner family and the world. Yet, her family rallied around her, proving that no matter how big the change, love and support make all the difference. The 2015 Vanity Fair cover photo with the bold headline, "Call Me Caitlyn," didn't just change her life. It spotlighted transgender rights and visibility in an unprecedented way. Laverne Cox, a true trailblazer. When it comes to influential transgender celebrities, Laverne Cox is undoubtedly at the top of the list. She gained fame through her role as Sophia Bursette in Orange is the New Black, where she portrayed a transgender woman navigating life in a women's prison. But before becoming the icon we know today, Laverne's life was filled with struggles, challenges, and a relentless journey in pursuit of authenticity. Born and raised in Mobile, Alabama, Laverne knew from a young age that she was different. Drawn to all things feminine, she often faced teasing and bullying just for daring to be herself. Yet, rather than letting these experiences break her, they shaped Laverne into the resilient and fierce woman we know today. One of her earliest passions was dance, tap, jazz, and more. After much pleading, her mother allowed her to take dance classes, although she drew the line at ballet, feeling it was too feminine. Even so, Laverne poured her heart into dance, finding joy in every step. As Laverne grew up, the inner conflict between her true self and society's expectations became overwhelming. Raised in a deeply religious environment, she was taught that her feelings were sinful, and this guilt weighed heavily on her. In 6th grade, her pain led her to a desperate act when she swallowed an entire bottle of pills. Fortunately, she survived, and this experience became a major turning point. Years later, after moving to New York, Laverne fully embraced her identity, beginning her transition and living as the woman she had always known herself to be. Laverne's big break came with her role in Orange is the New Black, where her performance was not only celebrated for its depth, but also for the authenticity she brought to the character. She drew from her real-life experiences, humanizing the transgender journey in a way that resonated with millions of viewers. This role catapulted her into the spotlight, and she used that platform to become a powerful advocate for transgender rights, championing acceptance and equality. Laverne has become a beacon of hope for countless individuals, proving that being true to oneself is always worth it, no matter the obstacles. Fallon Fox, a name that breaks barriers, bold and beautiful. Fallon's story isn't just about throwing punches in the MMA ring. She's a trailblazer standing up for transgender athletes in a world that isn't always ready for change. Born in Toledo, Ohio, Fallon realized early on that she was different from other boys. She felt more comfortable around girls, but expressing this wasn't easy, especially in a world where traditional gender roles were strictly enforced. Her parents, like many of their time, didn't understand. When Fallon came out as transgender, they did not support her. Her mother strongly opposed her identity, and her father believed it was something that could be fixed, leading Fallon to endure conversion therapy. Despite facing family opposition, Fallon knew deep in her heart that she was born to be a woman and chose to transition without her family's support. It was a journey filled with physical and emotional challenges, but she was determined to live authentically. Fallon Fox then made history by becoming the first openly transgender athlete in MMA. Entering the brutal world of mixed martial arts as a transgender woman was no easy feat. Critics were quick to argue that because Fallon was born male, she had an unfair advantage in strength. However, the reality is that coming out as transgender changed the way people perceived her in sports. Before she went public, Fallon was just another female fighter, but afterward, some people started acting as if she didn't belong. Despite the hatred and obstacles, Fallon continued to fight, both in the cage and against the prejudice she faced daily. She is determined to prove that transgender athletes deserve a place in sports just like anyone else, and refuses to let bias stand in the way of her dreams. Jazz Jennings is a familiar name when it comes to understanding the transgender experience, especially the challenges of growing up as a transgender child. She first captured public attention at just 6 years old during an interview with Barbara Walters, confidently explaining that although she was assigned male at birth, she was very much a girl. From a young age, Jazz was drawn to her sister's clothes, naturally strutting around in high heels. Her sense of self was so strong that she would often correct her parents whenever they mistakenly referred to her as a boy, firmly asserting that she was a girl through and through. At one point, Jazz even believed a magical fairy would come and transform her into a girl, showing just how deep her desire was for her body to align with her identity. Fortunately, Jazz's family came to understand and fully supported her transgender identity early on. With her family's love and acceptance, Jazz was able to embrace who she was from a young age, laying the foundation for her to become a powerful voice for the transgender community. As she grew older, Jazz chose not to keep her journey private. She invited the world in through her hit TLC show, I Am Jazz, where audiences followed her life, watching her navigate the ups and downs of being transgender with grace and authenticity. Jazz's courage and openness turned her into a leading advocate, even landing her a spot on Time magazine's list of the 25 most influential teens in 2014. What truly sets Jazz apart is her unwavering self-confidence. When asked how she handles judgment from others, Jazz responds with wisdom beyond her years. The only opinion that really affects me is my own, because I determine who I am, not anyone else. Carmen Carrera first made a powerful impression on audiences during Season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race, where she became known for her glamorous looks and unforgettable performances. However, after the show, Carmen's journey took a new turn as she began her transition from male to female, entering a new chapter in her life. Transitioning under the public spotlight wasn't easy. Many people who had known Carmen as a drag performer struggled to accept her as a woman. For some, it was difficult to look beyond her drag persona But Carmen was determined to live her truth and share her story to help normalize the transgender experience. Carmen's decision to transition not only impacted her personally, but also sparked critical conversations about language and respect within the LGBTQ+ community. One of the most significant moments came when Carmen voiced her opposition to a controversial game on RuPaul's Drag Race called Female or She-Male, a term she found deeply offensive, especially considering the challenges trans individuals face. Her stance caused mixed reactions, with some members of the Drag Race community accusing her of being ungrateful. But Carmen stood firm, advocating for a more inclusive and respectful approach to transgender issues. Today, Carmen Carrera is not only a stunning model gracing fashion runways worldwide, but also a passionate advocate for transgender rights. Despite the controversies, Carmen has made it clear that there's no bad blood with RuPaul. She even mentioned that if they were to meet, she'd still greet him with a hug. Gina Rochero's life took a monumental turn in 2014 when she came out as transgender during a powerful TED Talk. Before this revelation, Gina was celebrated in the fashion industry, with few knowing she was assigned male at birth. Her decision to come out was not only about living her truth, but also a bold, life-changing moment that Gina knew would have lasting effects. For her, it wasn't just a new chapter, but a continuation of a journey that had begun when she was 5 years old. At that tender age, Gina declared to her mother that she was a girl, and fortunately, her family embraced her with love and support. At 19, Gina underwent gender reassignment surgery, finally aligning her physical appearance with her true identity. However, Gina kept this part of her life private, even from those working closely with her in the fashion industry. She feared her past might somehow undermine her identity as a woman, but her desire to live authentically and represent the transgender community grew stronger. When Gina finally shared her truth during her TED Talk, it was an emotional moment not only for her, but for transgender individuals everywhere. Her agents, who were unaware of her transgender identity, stood by her, reminding her that her talent and beauty were what truly mattered. This public revelation helped Gina embrace her identity as a transgender model, using her platform to inspire others and advocate for greater inclusivity in the fashion industry. Today, Gina is a powerful advocate for transgender rights and representation, encouraging everyone to live authentically, fearlessly, and without shame. Amazon Eve, born William and now known as Erica Irvin, has made waves as a groundbreaking supermodel. Standing at an impressive 6'8" inches, 2.03 m, she was always hard to miss, and today she holds the title of the tallest female model in the world. With such height, standing out is inevitable in any industry. When Erica considered sharing her journey as a transgender woman with the world, she received some wise advice from her friend, Swedish actor Bill Skarsgård, who humorously suggested that she kick off her story in Sweden, known for its openness and acceptance. Erica's modeling career was just the beginning. She also ventured into acting and is best known for her role as Amazon Eve in American Horror Story, Freak Show. Interestingly, the role was originally written for a man playing a woman, so Erica auditioned as a man and only revealed she was transgender after landing the part. On screen, Erica's towering presence alongside the world's smallest woman, standing just 21 inches, 0.53 m, created a memorable image that beautifully highlighted the power of diversity. Though her height once made her self-conscious, prompting endless jokes about, "How's the weather up there?" Erica has since embraced her height with pride. However, Erica's journey was far from smooth. When she decided to transition, her family did not support her, leading to a painful period of estrangement. Despite the heartbreak, Erica refused to let it stand in the way of her happiness. Instead, she focused on building a life that made her feel whole and true to herself. Chanel West Coast has found herself at the center of one of the internet's quirkiest and funniest rumors. Some people believe that Lee Norris, the smart glasses-wearing character Stuart Minkus from Boy Meets World, transitioned and became Chanel West Coast. If you're having trouble recalling Minkus, imagine an adorable, nerdy blonde with quirky glasses. Due to their uncanny resemblance, this rumor spread quickly, leaving people puzzled and asking, "Wait, is that true?" But let's clear this up. Lee Norris and Chanel West Coast are two completely different people with entirely separate careers. Lee Norris is still very much himself, appearing in shows like The Walking Dead, Girl Meets World, and the thriller Gone Girl. Although his career remains steady, this quirky rumor seems to have overshadowed his work, leading people to jokingly assume he disappeared after supposedly transforming into Chanel West Coast. Meanwhile, Chanel West Coast has been busy building her empire as a rapper, actress, and the bubbly, energetic secretary on Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory, where she captures audiences with her humor and natural charisma. When asked about this mix-up, Chanel reacted with humor and compassion. She admitted to feeling a bit sorry for Lee Norris, as the rumor made some people think he no longer existed. However, she also emphasized that transitioning is a deeply personal experience and shouldn't be treated as a joke, as it involves significant emotional and physical challenges. Chanel hasn't let this rumor affect her success. She continues to shine in the entertainment industry, proving that she's much more than just a celebrity look-alike. James Dean, the heartbreaker and rebel who defied norms in Hollywood. His roles often embodied youthful angst and societal rebellion, a spirit he also brought into his personal life. Although his public persona radiated strong masculinity, Dean's private life was more complex, reflecting the same nonconformity he portrayed on screen. Many biographers and close friends suggest that Dean was bisexual. Dean's relationship with actress Pier Angeli was public, but his connections with men, including rumored romances with actor Sal Mineo and producer Rogers Brackett, remained more private. His close friend John Gilmore even claimed that they experimented with same-sex encounters. Actress Elizabeth Taylor later confirmed Dean's homosexuality at a Gilad Awards ceremony, mentioning him alongside Rock Hudson and Montgomery Clift. When asked about his sexuality, Dean responded, "No, I am not a homosexual, but I'm also not going to go through life with one hand tied behind my back." This statement reflects his refusal to be confined by labels or societal expectations, both in his career and personal life. Barbara Stanwyck, a trailblazer who broke social barriers, especially in her role as a lesbian character in the 1962 film Walk on the Wild Side. However, rumors suggest that this role wasn't just acting. Known for her strong, assertive personality, Stanwyck was beloved by the LGBTQ+ community. She even taught dance at a gay and lesbian speakeasy owned by the famous entrepreneur Texas Guinan, further solidifying her connection to the LGBTQ+ world. One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence supporting these rumors comes from legendary lesbian singer Tallulah Bankhead, who claimed to have had a romantic relationship with Stanwyck. Additionally, Stanwyck was rumored to have had a serious long-term relationship with her agent, Helen Ferguson, which allegedly lasted up to 30 years. Although she was married twice, many believe these were lavender marriages meant to conceal her true sexual orientation. Biographer Axel Madsen once remarked, "People would swear she was Hollywood's biggest closeted lesbian." Stanwyck's life, both on and off screen, continues to inspire discussions about the complexities of identity and love in Hollywood's golden era. Anthony Perkins. The actor who brought the chillingly iconic character Norman Bates to life in Psycho had a private life just as intriguing, marked by love, passion, and hidden secrets. Perkins quickly rose to fame in Hollywood, earning an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor for his role in Friendly Persuasion. Yet behind the scenes, his love life was far from conventional. Perkins had multiple same-sex relationships with famous figures like Rock Hudson, Tab Hunter, and Rudolf Nureyev. However, after years of relationships with men, Perkins eventually married photographer Berinthia Barry Berenson while she was 3 months pregnant. This marriage shocked many of his friends, who doubted it would last. Actress Venetia Stevenson famously remarked, "I was so shocked when I heard Tony got married. I thought, no way, Tony is so gay." Nevertheless, Perkins and Berenson had 2 children and remained happily together until the end of his life. Perkins passed away in 1992 from complications related to HIV, leaving a legacy not only on screen but also as a man with a complex life filled with hidden truths. Marilyn Monroe, known for captivating men, reportedly had a similar effect on women and certainly knew how to choose her partners. Rumors suggest that Monroe had passionate encounters with several leading Hollywood actresses, including Joan Crawford, Barbara Stanwyck, Judy Garland, and even the legendary Marlene Dietrich. In recordings from therapy sessions with her psychiatrist, Dr. Ralph Greenson, Monroe allegedly confessed to an intimate encounter with Crawford, vividly recalling she had an intense orgasm and screamed like a madwoman. However, the relationship didn't last as Monroe decided to end it, feeling that Crawford was too demanding and at times spiteful. Monroe's bisexuality was an open secret to those who worked closely with her. Director Jean Negulesco, who directed How to Marry a Millionaire, once quoted Monroe as saying she had never experienced an orgasm with a man. Despite her many public relationships, Monroe's private life was far more complex than her public Hollywood image suggested, revealing layers of personal depth and vulnerability that went beyond her glamorous persona. Cary Grant, born Archibald Alexander Leach, was more than the charming icon we know from the silver screen. He shared a profound and unconventional love with fellow actor Randolph Scott. Their relationship began in 1932 on the set of Hot Saturday and quickly became inseparable. The 2 actors moved in together, creating a famous home known as Bachelor Hall, even featured in Architectural Digest. However, their connection went far beyond just sharing a living space, embodying a deep bond that lasted for years and quietly challenged the era's norms surrounding love and companionship. Despite the rumors and societal expectations of the time, Cary Grant and Randolph Scott's relationship was marked by a deep connection that endured over many years, even after both men married. Stories circulated about them holding hands late at night at the Polo Lounge, witnessed only by waitstaff, a testament to the strength of their bond. Their relationship was a well-kept secret in Hollywood, yet those close to them understood that what they shared was far more than just friendship. This extraordinary connection remains one of Hollywood's most touching, enduring love stories, defying the norms of their era. This special bond endured until the end of their lives. Scott passed away only a few months after Grant, underscoring the deep connection and lasting love they shared. Their relationship remains one of Hollywood's most moving and enduring stories, a testament to the power of love despite societal pressures. Thank you for watching my video. There's still so much more fascinating content coming in future videos, so stay tuned. Thank you and goodbye.